我对太极的恨就是从胡冠涛、河北邯郸那个人开始的。
This segment, Xu Xiaodong details all the 恩怨, all the drama he's had with the Chinese Tai Chi community. The first guy, Hu Guantao,
他跟谁没说，他带他的儿子5个人到我拳馆里来，有视频。我恭恭敬敬地向他鞠躬握手。他说他今年70岁了，说要跟我交流。我直接就说，现在雷雷不知道有视频，他发的视频下半段都没给大家发，我这全有。他说要今天给我切磋，我说老先生，以您目前的状态，你没法给我切磋，我不是给你推手呢。胡冠涛他们脑子里的以为比武就是推手，这是胡说八道。我说这是格斗搏击，你这样的是不可能打的。你推我，我一拳给你撂倒了。你70岁了。
I think what's interesting about how Xu Xiaodong's describing this Tai Chi master is that he doesn't seem to have a concept of what actual sparring is. And so it fits into the entire paradigm. A lot of these Chinese martial arts styles, they had no sparring. So I think hearing the story, Xu Xiaodong never explicitly said this guy's never really sparred, but that's what you hear, is that this guy thinks sparring just push hands, and Xu Xiaodong's telling him, dude, if you're going to spar me, it's going to be punches to the face. You're 70. I don't want to punch you in the face. And I think it's pretty effective how Xu Xiaodong's framing this. He's not saying this guy doesn't know how to spar. He's just telling the story to kind of illustrate that the guy doesn't spar. So that's really good storytelling right there.
他不行，他说小东啊，他也说话挺客气，我还是想跟你切磋。我这么办，我胡老师今天一半跟我切磋，这件事儿，他的儿子拿着摄头就开始照，就我全程同意了。徐晓东是堂堂正正走了，等到了礼拜6晚上，礼拜日网友给我发说，胡冠涛发了一个视频，他儿子做的。说到徐晓东的拳馆去跟徐晓东切磋，徐晓东尊敬老师，认输不打了，认输不打了。我说没这事儿。他说那你看有这个，我说胡冠涛的儿子给我打过电话，打电话的截图记录我全有，我今天都在手机上呢。我今儿他妈就发个油管，我睡眼朦胧的说，我说这你爸爸岁数太大了，就别打了。真把他打坏了不好，他说那怎么办？我爸爸就想跟你切磋，我说我礼拜2回去，要不咱们礼拜2切磋好吧？咱们再联系，把这话完了。马上他挂了电话就发说我输了，我认输了，所有人都找我，我太极终于找你了，终于把你打败了，我就急了。我是礼拜1做完比赛，礼拜2的早上起来做的。卖的黄龙机场那叫什么机场？萧山啊，杭州的机场，我连包都落在机场了。我他妈的坐飞机马上回拳馆。我礼拜2的下午18点，我到的我拳馆。我到了拳馆，给他儿子打电话发微信，我说我到了。你不说你在我拳馆找我徐晓东打，我徐晓东输了吗？认输不给你打了吗？我说你他妈胡说八道！我说你们太极都他妈胡说八道吗？你就骂了太极。我说我他妈在这等着你呢，来啊！不接我电话。不回复，他儿子天天在网上说70岁的他们家的杨氏，傻逼杨氏太极，说他妈的我干了徐晓东全武林，我他妈愤怒。
好像说了，
我没骂人，
我就是练杨氏太极的。
So I think this brings up a very interesting kind of, you can call it a moral conundrum or maybe an ethical conundrum. Xu Xiaodong's a public person, right? So people are going to be saying stuff about him. I think the burden of what you have to respond to as a public person is just different. So even channels like, for example, my channel or Sensei Seth or let's say Ramsey Dewey, I'm sure there are people talking smack all the time, lying out of their faces, so to speak, about whatever, right? Just so they can get a rise out of people or maybe get a response or something. Most people who kind of put out something in the public, they understand that that's just part of the territory. It seems like Xu Xiaodong's personality, anything he wants to set right. Now that's pretty honorable too, but I guess I'm thinking about it from an efficiency perspective or maybe from like a happiness perspective. Is that useful? Every little claim, every little thing someone says about you, you better make that right. You know, they better eat their words if they're wrong or lying about you. And I don't know what the answer is because he seems to have gotten pretty famous trying to set the record straight, right? So maybe his approach is correct, but just seeing how angry he is, and again, that could be a persona too, but just seeing how angry he is, how he's always on the wrong side of many things, it seems like some little things he should just let go. But, you know, the fact that he's sitting down with Lei Lei here probably shows that he is a pretty big person, right? He's able to sit down with his mofo. Lei Lei loves to lie about stuff too, so let's keep watching.
我就愤怒了，好，我就愤怒了。完了之后，我就骂，确实那3分钟我骂了。后来怎么害我的？这帮网友，这帮人说徐晓东辱骂了太极3分钟之后，一个定格。我不说骂太极的都大傻叉吗？我骂人了，大傻叉吗？最后这帮人怎么害我，你知道吗？这2分30多秒视频，最后一个定格，温家宝打太极，说徐晓东侮辱国家领导人，我就日，这不骂人啊？
这，
我就急了，你知道吗？
这个王主，
我就恨死了。我去邯郸，我找过这洋人，姓杨的。找不着，我生气，我找他儿子，他儿子专门是学导演戏的，你们明白了吗？他儿子拿他爸当他妈戏拍，当电影拍，把我也拍进去，我一反面角色，我从那会儿就开始恨太极了。
This kind of reminds me in high school. So I did debate in high school. I was never good at it, but it really helped me practice my speaking. There was this kid, very arrogant kid. This kid, he would do kind of like what the Tai Chi side did to Xu Xiaodong. He would attribute a quote to his opponent and then say some mass murder, whatever name some mass murder. He's like, oh, this guy said it. So it's kind of like the same kind of this type of fallacious argument. But in this case, what Xu Xiaodong's experiencing, it's also kind of like slander, right? Because it's not true. They're claiming he insulted the party, which of course in China you don't do. And it's so funny because, for example, in America, I can talk smack about the Democrats or the Republicans or the Libertarians or the Green Party or whatever. It's not going to potentially lead to a point where, let's say, my social credit score gets destroyed or police come knocking on my door or something. I mean, our country could be headed down that direction. You can never put it past it. But still, it's crazy also that the Tai Chi side, I don't know why they really try to go after Xu Xiaodong with this type of slander. You think about YouTube channels, right? I'm sure there are angry, kind of weird people who've said something like, oh, I proved him wrong, this, and that. Inevitably, and I'm not justifying this, but inevitably, if you're going to put yourself in the public, you're going to get people who are going to claim stuff. I remember, so before I even had this channel, back in the day I had a different channel. I was not very careful about accepting friend requests on Facebook. So random people who followed my other channel sometimes would add me on Facebook. And then one guy one time just got mad at me for some reason. He just started cursing on my wall. So of course I blocked him. And then later on he claimed, he's like, oh yeah, I proved Jerry wrong, and he blocked me. And I was like, what? You didn't prove me anything. You're just cursing. So you see, people will, in their minds, have a different way of interpreting things. That in their mind, it makes sense, right? It's a weird psychological thing. So there is a potential that these Tai Chi people might have actually thought this. It's not that they were trying to slander Xu Xiaodong as Xu Xiaodong thinks. Maybe they actually thought this. Like, oh, he's actually cursing out Wen Jiabao, the premier at the time. I think human psychology is as fascinating, if not more fascinating, than martial arts. In fact, a big part of fighting, a big part of self-defense is the psychology.
一直到望京7个太极的人堵我，一直到苏建平跟我做节目，还说徐老师你要握手，我走打电话让7个人在望京大厦憋我，说要跟我徐晓东打。雷雷知道这事儿，雷雷说我徐晓东不敢打，在大街上打，那叫打架。
停！
你说，
你们之前，当时我在成都，太极的挑战你，这事儿跟我第一我不知道，第二我当时并不在北京，我是看了整体网络视频才知道，而且当时是你报警了，对吗？
我报警是因为7个人在大街上打我，我说我都接招，
人家没打，
我跟你们打。他说的是就在这儿打，我说要打咱们擂台，他说同意了，他不同意，他在这儿，看见没有？雷雷先生胡说八道，我有视频，我有望京的视频，我有望京视频，直接说啊，你听着来了，宝哥。完了之后，我说他们上擂台，我跟你们一个个的切磋，他们就那儿堵着我报警，最后这帮人走了。
人家
这个是
接受挑战，
这我接受挑战到现在了，他们谁都没来，我对太极的恨刻骨铭心。
And you guys have seen this one, right? We've covered this before on our channel. That was a pretty sad moment in Chinese martial arts history. That being said, though, if you look at the original video, I never saw 7. I saw maybe 4 or 5, but I've never saw 7 Tai Chi people. So for those of you who know more about this incident, where are the other 2 or the other 3 people that fit the 7? If 7 people of anything try to intimidate me, I'm sure it will make me think of that thing differently, right? And it's interesting that Xu Xiaodong challenged them all. He said, look, you guys can fight me in the ring anytime. Of course, there's going to be that excuse. The ring doesn't represent real life, right? So the Tai Chi side probably would want to fight on the grass or fight on the ground and be able to do all the moves that are banned, right?
还有一人就成都太极叫陆行，把我约到他们家里去，马玉威在旁边作证，跟我说：“小东你好，我支持你打假。”这是我练功的地方，铁砂掌什么，这是我练太极的地方。来，咱们这儿照个相吧。4个人，有马玉维，有我，有他爱人，还有陆航，4个人照相。照完了相，我第2天回成都，第3天回北京。回北京，公众号不是陆航发的，不是陆航，但是把照片，因为照片只有我们几个人有，发出来说徐晓东上门拜会陆航推手行会长，徐晓东被打败。
I've tried to find more information on this incident, and so far I have not been able to find any information on Chinese social media. But I think what's very interesting is that in the future, for any of you, if you ever want to deal with people who potentially could be haters or whatever, you gotta have evidence. You gotta document it all, man. It sucks because sometimes you just want to interact, right? You just want to have a good interaction, but you're almost forced to kind of take extra precautions and not be completely authentic, right? It's hard to be authentic when you have a phone here or you have someone else putting the camera on you guys. In this day and age, especially if you're going to tackle anything that's controversial, you kind of just have to. I see where this is going because if the majority of people that are slandering Xu Xiaodong seem to be Tai Chi people, of course, in his mind, he's going to be like, oh, F Tai Chi. Tai Chi is just a certain way. Is there something in the Tai Chi establishment or in the Tai Chi culture that's making people all turn out like this, right? What's the causation? Is it Tai Chi turning people bad, or is it people who are bad are naturally drawn to the Tai Chi establishment in China?
陆航，我直接打电话给他，他说不是他干的。我说不是你干的，照片都没有。你现在发表一声明。他说：“小东，你要干嘛？”我说：“你实话实说，咱俩打没打，赢没赢？”我说：“我没跟你打，我尊敬你去拜会。你现在发这种文章，他说跟我没关系，我不管，吧嗒就给我拉黑了。这就是陆航，杨氏太极，大家可以查。”
Pretty sad because both Lei Lei and this Lu Hang person are from my hometown in Chengdu, giving my hometown a bad name. My hometown is known to have really good food, really, really beautiful women, and just really chill people. It's like, why does it attract the Tai Chi crowd, these bad Tai Chi people? Maybe that's the reason, right? The people in my hometown are so chill. We're kind of like, yeah, you know, these Tai Chi people, let them do their thing. It's kind of like when Anderson Silva had, what was that guy's name? The Aikido guy, Steven Seagal, in his training camp, right? And Steven Seagal's like, yeah, I taught Anderson Silva the front kick. And Anderson Silva just seems like a chill guy. He's not going to do anything, right? It seems like the people from my hometown are like this. You know, all these Tai Chi people, yeah, you guys can come to our hometown. Just don't cause too much trouble. We're chill enough. See what happens? Sometimes you can't be too chill. I guess that justifies Xu Xiaodong's persona. You got to push a little because if you're too chill, then you get people like Steven Seagal claiming he taught the front kick to Anderson Silva, or Lu Hang claiming that he beat up Xu Xiaodong, or Lei Lei claiming he can, you know, hit a watermelon and make it explode on the inside.
你打假打的都是比你轻110斤的人。
我打假，别管轻重，你牛，雷先生，你给我找一重的来，我接着打。只要传统武术，只要你太极的，谁都行，打没问题，你给我找来，这我定了。大家听着啊，雷先生你找，就是你给我找，这就没有打。
不用找，不用找，有我接着呢。太极的事有我接着呢，这祸是我惹起来的。
So I think this segment's really interesting. We're learning 2 things. One is Xu Xiaodong doesn't mind fighting people that are the same size as him. I'm just guessing he can't find that many Tai Chi people his size. But now we know if there's any Tai Chi guy in the West, any Tai Chi guy anywhere that's Xu Xiaodong's panda size, go challenge him. He will take your challenge. And the second part I think is really cool too. Lei Lei still claims he represents Tai Chi, but as you've seen, I don't think he's been doing Tai Chi for a very long time. Ever since Xu Xiaodong knocked him out, he's been training kickboxing. And of course, you guys saw that first fight after he started doing kickboxing where he fought Wang Zhiliang, the Kung Fu master, and how Wang Zhiliang just destroyed him. And then of course, Lei Lei came back and fought Tianyan, won, right? But Lei Lei has not been using Tai Chi for a very long time, so I don't know if Lei Lei can really represent Tai Chi. What do you guys think?
陈小旺，因为这个事儿我赔了26万4。陈小旺跟龙武推手，2分钟，陈小旺就伤了，全世界都知道，龙武赢了。当时的电视台就跟陈小旺商量了，陈小旺再跟龙武商量，说把那个弄成龙武输了。这件事儿大家可以查龙武的微博。
等会儿，宝哥，您让我说一句话啊。陈小旺多大岁数了？
多大岁数？我问你啊，那跟龙武推得着吗？他敢推就得敢说失败和成功。那我问你啊，
I think this part is really interesting because how Lei Lei is justifying Chen Xiaowang's behavior is very Chinese culture, right? Oh yeah, that person's just old, or that person's this or that. By principle, why would you argue like that? I've talked about this all the time with Chinese relatives. This person is old, therefore he or she can be, forgive my French, an asshole. So just because this person's old justifies them being an asshole to people. People are like, I'm like, I get this Confucian thing, you know, but for the sake of your ancestors, for the sake of your parent generation, grandparent generation, great-grandparent generation, doesn't it do them a service? Don't you show your piety even more by pointing out certain things they're doing that would make them less happy or live shorter in this world, right? Isn't that like one of your responsibilities? You can't just humor and treat old people like little kids. That's always what I've maintained. But you know, that's just me speaking like a 30-year-old, right? Maybe when I become 50, I will start agreeing with Lei Lei or something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think on that? Hey guys, we now know more about Xu Xiaodong's kind of 恩怨, his drama with the Tai Chi community in China. So if you guys want me to dig more, maybe look at more of Xu Xiaodong's kind of talks about this, I will do it. Anyone that goes to my hometown, Chengdu, please, there's enough bullshito there, as you can tell. There's already Lei Lei and there's this Lu Hang guy. Please don't go and do any more bullshito. Shout out Jiu-Jitsu black belt Jerry. There's a Jerry, not me. There's a Jiu-Jitsu black belt named Jerry in Chengdu, my hometown. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was Fight Commentary Breakdowns. Bye bye.